So you're looking for work here in Sweden. Brandon here, registered nurse from the United States, living working in Sweden. Been a nurse here for the last couple years, and I've had some of my followers here on YouTube reaching out for tips on looking for work in Sweden. It is not easy out there trying to find work in Sweden. A lot of competition, high unemployment rates here. And for a lot of people that move here to Sweden, then there's a language barrier. So I'm going to share 5 tips that I hope are helpful about looking for work. But first off, I want to say I am by no means any expert in this department. That is not in my wheelhouse. I am not a job advisor. I am not an economic type person. There are people that are way more qualified and better at this sort of thing than I am. So if you are one of those, please make sure to leave suggestions in the comments because it will be helpful to other people that are looking for work here in this beautiful country. So first tip that I can say is learn Swedish. Super important. It opens a lot of doors for you. Secondly, network. That is so important. It's all about who you know and making connections with people. I got my first job here in Sweden as a nursing assistant through Facebook. I looked up some Facebook job groups in the city that I was in and just put my name out there, said, hey, I'm a nurse, I don't have my license yet, I'm not real good with Swedish, I'm looking for work, is there any opportunities? And just be available to try whatever. I was even looking at getting into construction just to have my first job. And of course, the first question on the job interview for that one was, did I own a gun? Because I come from Texas. Thirdly, get educated. If you are a person who's been living in Sweden long enough to have gotten a personal identification number, that opens a door for you to get education through the universities. Take advantage of that. That's a great tool for you and it'll open up a whole lot of doors. Fourthly, consider moving north. Here in the south, it's very competitive. It's hard to find work because you're competing with a lot of other people that want to be living down here as well. So if you go up further north, it's going to be much easier for you to find work. I know I hadn't even moved here to Sweden and I had a job offer for a job that was not even in my wheelhouse. I've never worked with animals, but it was to be able to work with the sled dogs, and they said they were familiar with working with people outside the EU and they would facilitate the paperwork for me. And that just sounded like a really cool job, but thankfully I already have my nursing degree in the States, and so I was pretty sure I would be able to eventually get a job as a nurse, so that's the direction I went. But there's a lot of job opportunities for you if you're willing to go further north. And that leads me to the 5th point, which is be open for anything. You may have to start at the bottom. I did. I was a specialist nurse, had a very cush job in the States, and I had to go back and work in home health and work as an assistant, and I was quite a bit limited on what I was able to do, so that was a little bit humbling for me. So be willing to take whatever job just to get in the door. That's the important thing. You need to get your foot in the door and get something on a resume. Hope these tips are helpful for you. If you got more ideas, make sure and leave that in the comments section. Thank you so much.